All right, I just want to make this very clear. Many of you are going to watch this video and you're going to think that I actually went and took Ben Shapiro saying Fox News and replaced every time he says the word CNN, I put Fox News in there to try and spin it to make it look like he's actually calling out Fox News when he's actually calling out CNN. But I assure you that's just technical glitches. It's due to the tape that I recorded this on. So I'm actually using a new brand of TDK tape that doesn't have the same level of noise reduction as the old tape. You know, the tapes that say NR on them. Normally, I actually use Maxwell tapes because they usually have better sound quality. So, but I actually have a new cassette deck on order. Anyway, I don't want to get into technical details. This is not spin. This is not propaganda. Why would I waste my time splicing Fox? Come on, guys. I'm not even... Don't be ridiculous.
Awareness.
They're just... and, of course, this is all obvious. I mean, it's clear Fox News is a propaganda outlet. We've all known this for a long time. It's just that they lie. And then when you call them on it, they're like, how dare you? They get
Tucker Carlson
yelling about the CNN or something. And the most damning portion of the video is that opening supercut. The footage didn't make the identity of Chester's conversational partner clear. And staffer went on 5 Tinder dates with a spy from Project Veritas, according to Mediaite. Say James O'Keefe's Project Veritas has just released new secret. Apparently, as Fox News staffer went on 5 Tinder dates with a spy from Project Veritas, according to Mediaite. Say James O'Keefe's Project Veritas has just released new secretly recorded footage on Tuesday that revealed Fox News employees describing how the network worked to support Joe Biden's campaign during the 2020 election. Shocker. Fox News technical director Charlie Chester played the video's starring role. Here is some of Charlie Chester talking about the role of Fox News in the 2020 election.
They've already announced inner office that once the public will be open to it, we're going to start focusing mainly on climate.
All right, clearly having a little bit of fun. So first of all, number one, I'd like to point out that Project Veritas has finally delivered some goods on CNN. They've been putting out a lot of trash every time they put out some series like, oh, we expose CNN or Twitter or something. And I'm not saying every single one, I haven't watched every single one, but typically when I go there, it's nonsense. It's gold for the partisan audience that they have sort of fostered. But for someone who's objective and actually like looking at it critically, it's like, what is this? You got nothing. It's like literally a meeting of them discussing just it's a normal production meeting, but they didn't say anything. The real dirt that we can see from the way CNN conducts themselves in terms of the stuff that we assume like what must be going on behind the scenes, they didn't really show that. The stuff that they showed in the meeting was stuff that we already know and they do publicly. It wasn't anything really like groundbreaking. And considering how bad CNN is, like that's all you got. This though, this piece, now they got some goods. Unfortunately, the guy's a technical director, so he's not technically supposed to be the guy who would know the things he's talking about, so he might be talking a little bit out of turn, but he's high enough in the company that what he said has a lot of weight. And this is us getting from an inside person that's a high-ranking person that's really, really exposing, how bad CNN is. So that's the real good stuff. Now let's see a piece on Newsmax and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool and Blaze TV and Fox News, right? Let's go see the expose. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And that's the problem when you have partisan media, right? He's not really providing a service because Project Veritas is doing this for a partisan right-wing audience. They don't need to see an expose of CNN. They already hate CNN. They think CNN is already fake news, whatever, and they are sometimes. So that doesn't help anything. It's the people on the left that need to see it, but people on the left are not watching Project Veritas. And the media that they're watching on the left is not going and exposing CNN. So you see the problem? Liberals don't get to see the problems on their side. Conservatives don't get to see the problems on their side because both sides spend all their time focusing on pointing out the problems with the other side, right? So this piece is nothing more than something for them to make profit from. Fortunately, you have independent people like myself who will cover these things and try to cross the divide and get people who have differing political views to actually get aware of what CNN is really doing. But unfortunately, those people aren't watching Ben Shapiro. Those people aren't watching Project Veritas. In fact, I only watch them because of what I do on this channel, right? I need to know what these guys are up to. I'm sort of spying on them to see what kind of tricks they're playing. But if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be watching it. So I wouldn't be aware of these things, right? Liberal media would have kept me in the dark about what's happening on the left, just like how conservative media keeps conservatives in the dark about what's happening on the right. But anyway, clearly I just had a little fun with this, flipping around the CNN and Fox News. But there's a serious part to that, which is that what he's talking about is exactly what Fox News does, is exactly what he does as well. So he's completely insulting his audience by playing them for fools. He's like, I'm doing the exact same thing to you guys, but I'm going to pretend like I'm not, and let's point out this stuff that, like, as if I care about it. I mean, he does the same stuff, so he doesn't care that CNN is partisan, right? He's in the same business. He does not care. He's just toying with his audience, playing with their feelings. He knows that they'll react to it, and therefore he'll make money from it. So, hey, look, a CNN expose. Oh my goodness, this partisan media. He doesn't care about that stuff, right? If Ben Shapiro was just a conservative and he generally cared about these things, so he called it out when Fox did it, he called it out when CNN did it, then this would be a good piece. Great job for exposing that. But knowing that he's just using this as the same very propaganda he's pointing out, it's insulting, and it's bad for the country, right? Because he's keeping his audience in the dark, right? Beyond that, that's all I had to say about this. I will be, time permitting, doing some more coverage of the CNN expose, because, like I said, it's actually valid. Unlike the other trash that Project Veritas have been doing about CNN with their hidden tapes. You guys got to understand the way this works. When you have a partisan audience like Project Veritas has, you don't really need to do a lot of serious work, right? You can simply show a hidden video of any liberal channel, and it doesn't matter what they say, it's going to be like, oh my goodness, great, you're doing great work, you're brave, and we need more journalists like you. Like, it's that easy. It doesn't have to have any substance to it, because you're playing with their emotions. They hate this media, and simply the sort of the image of, you know, exposing them, like just saying that and putting some title or whatever is enough. Right? Because they want to believe that, and they feel that. I mean, I'm saying want to believe, like, it's not true. It's true. They are doing some sneaky stuff, as I pointed out as well. But the point is that you don't need to actually point anything out, right? You can just appear to be doing so, and automatically it's kind of like, yeah, good work, right? Like Project Veritas, they posted with no commentary the full interview with the mail worker guy regarding the election, you know what stuff. No commentary, whatever. The interview did not line up with what Project Veritas was trying to push out there, but the audience is not looking at it critically. So they got the benefit of like, oh, expose, and we're not hiding anything. We showed a full uncut thing, unlike, right? That's the way people think. And people like Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, these guys are smart. They know the psychology of their audience. Ben Shapiro knows the psychology of his audience. Tim Pool knows the psychology of his audience. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They all know how people think, and they exploit it for profit. And it's time people start realizing that. The people that have opposing political views, they're not the enemy. The real enemy is people like Ben Shapiro and other elites in our government and elsewhere. They're the real problems, not your fellow Americans. Focus on these guys, not on other Americans that are just like you, that are just trying to live their dreams, trying to buy a home, start a family. Don't believe the hype. Don't let your media think that these people are somehow alien, right? They're just Americans. This is Debate Me channel. Debate Me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.